A UK-based African lady has contracted incurable disease from the person that is supposed to be the closest person to her. This lady, Stella, is crying. Stella was looking forward to her wedding day. She has been engaged to the love of her life, whom they have dated for 3 years. Everything was perfect. Stella had planned the wedding and money has been spent. Good afternoon. The Lunch Club is where you hear the daily update about immigrant lived experiences. This story today is a story that broke my heart when this lady contacted me. Let me know what your views are as we dive into the story of Stella and Rufus. The saddest part of this story is that this woman today, she is consigned to a life where she has incurable disease. Let's share this story. Let's go back to the beginning. Stella was planning to get married to the man of her dream. She has set money, days aside, everything has been planned, only for Stella to find out just 2 weeks to the wedding, the love of Stella's life pulled out of the wedding. Stella was in shock. She did not know how to react to the news. She was ashamed because she had told all her family that the day is finally here for her to get married to the love of her life. She did not know how to handle the situation. Out of shame, Stella did not want to go back to the old church where everybody knew that she and the boyfriend who they were planning to get married, the guy, both of them attended the church. She was ashamed. She did not want to go back to that church again. Stella, out of frustration, she started a new church. She was attending a new church. One day, Stella said, when she walked into this new church, the lady that ushered her in, those people that normally welcome you at the entrance, the lady welcomed her in. The lady is an elderly lady too. They exchanged greetings, and after the church service, they started talking. Then she now found out that she and this lady, they come from the same country. They exchanged mobile numbers, and the lady called her just like my Christian church member calls you just to check on you. From time to time, the lady was calling Stella to check on Stella, and Stella developed friendship with the lady. Out of that friendship, Stella now confided in this lady, say, look, I was supposed to get married 2 weeks before my wedding. My boyfriend pulled out of the wedding and he said he's not going to get married to me again, and my life was broken. Look at my age. I'm at the age where I don't have kids. I don't have anything. I just want to settle down. When she was telling her stories to this lady who comes from the same country with her, the lady's name is Angela. Angela now said, oh, I have a younger brother. My younger brother is a very responsible man. He is about the same age as you. He's not married. Stella said when the lady told her initially, she said, I'm not interested. I don't want all this kind of relationship that you introduced me. After some time, Angela keep asking Stella, oh, how are you, my sister? How are you, my sister? My brother is still single. Look at his picture. He's a very good looking young man. He hasn't got any baggage, no children, nothing. When Stella thought about it, she decided, okay, give me this, your brother's mobile number. Let me and your brother start talking as friends. They started talking as friends. The guy told Stella that he lives in Belfast at that time. Stella said, okay, Belfast is not far from where I live in the southeast of England. He went to see the guy in Belfast. They liked each other and they started dating. This guy in question is Rufus. Rufus did not tell Stella anything about the true picture about his life. He did conceal that from Stella. Stella did not know that Rufus had children back home. He concealed that from her. And they dated for a while. They got married. Rufus is an asylum seeker who had been refused, and they have home office that asked him to leave the country. The sister who introduced Stella to Rufus, did not tell her that the man has children, he's an asylum seeker who's been asked to leave the country. She concealed that information from Stella. So Stella and Rufus, they got married. When they got married, they submitted the application. The Home Office then refused Rufus and said, look, you have been asked to leave the country. You're only trying to stay in the country. That is why you now rush to get married to this woman. We do not believe that this is a genuine marriage. In fact, you will still need to leave the country. Stella was the one that spent money on the appeal process. After everything, a lawyer then advised and said, you know what? Don't waste your money. Go back with your husband should go back to his home country and apply. If he applies for spouse visa in his home country, they will grant. Stella bought ticket for Rufus. Rufus flew to the home country. It's applied. When he applied, he was refused again. Stella again got another lawyer involved, flew to the home country. She met a lot of young children. Among those children, Rufus' 2 children were there, but Rufus did not tell Stella that these are my children. Stella helped, stayed with Rufus. After some time, Rufus was finally granted his spouse visa, and therefore he came back to the UK. This story, when you find that this woman today, her life has almost been ruined, she has been diagnosed with incurable disease, and you will be shocked. Rufus came to the UK. Stella said Rufus struggled to work. She was the one, despite when he came, she was the one that was carrying the responsibility, doing everything for them. He finally managed to get a job. He got a job, and she was still sponsoring. She has her own house, that house that she's already bought before she met Rufus, and Rufus just walked into the house, was living in the house, doing everything. Stella said when Rufus was there, everything was going fine. She didn't suspect anything. Whenever they have any disagreement in the relationship, she will call Rufus' sister, who introduced her to Rufus. The Rufus sister will always say, my sister, marriage is like that. Just be patient. Just be patient. Give him time. Give him time. The sister was doing everything. Even when Stella found out that Rufus had an affair, she said, I'm ending this relationship. Rufus' sister drove all the way, came to the house, persuaded her, and she thought, this Rufus sister, she's a good, God-fearing Christian. She has my best interest, not knowing that Rufus sister and Rufus, they had their own plan. Stella changed her mind. She said, okay, I'm not going to end this relationship. We are married. They have to stay. When Stella started noticing that Rufus has medication that he takes, and this medication, he was always taking the medication, but he was being evasive. When he wants to take the medication, he say, what is this medication for? I have high blood pressure. The medication, I have high blood pressure. The woman believed completely what Rufus was telling her, that this medication is for high blood pressure. Rufus and Stella were there. After all these things, the woman and this guy, they stayed together for more than 5 years. Rufus told Stella that, look, when it comes to renewing, I don't want to do posting. I want to go to the office to renew for this, do same day renewal. I'll pay express, I'll renew. Stella contributed part of the money that Rufus used to renew his document. She drove Rufus to, I think, Liverpool, where immigrant home office in Liverpool. They drove there. They waited. Rufus renewed his paper. When Rufus renewed his paper, what Stella didn't know is that Rufus has already decided throughout all this thing that he's not going to have any child with Stella. Stella did not know that they've been trying for a baby. Baby wasn't coming. What is happening? Why is the baby not coming? Only for Stella to find out that Rufus has done what they call victectomy. He has asked, they've removed, he had an operation in the UK without Stella even knowing, to remove his part of his penis, that he will not be able to have any children. That is not even the biggest shocker that you're going to find out. He has done this thing, doesn't want to have a baby, and he didn't tell this woman, and this woman was thinking, oh, we are doing all this in trying to have a baby. When the guy came back from Liverpool with Stella, that they finally giving him is indefinite leave to remain, the same day that they gave him the indefinite leave to remain, 48 hours later, they had an argument. When they had an argument, Rufus just said, you know what, I'm just going to go stay with my friend. When he went to stay with his friend, this woman saw a letter in the post. He called him. He said his phone is switch off. She saw a letter in the post. Out of frustration, she opened the letter, and that was when she realized that, dear Rufus, the doctor is telling you that your HIV medication, it needs to be reviewed, and you have not been following. You need to come for urgent review. This man that this woman thought the man had her best interest at heart. Rufus has HIV. He has been living in the same house with this woman, having sex with this woman, knew quite all right the sister might be aware that Rufus is HIV positive, and he has been having unprotected sex with this woman, knowing full well that this woman, that he is going to infect her. The woman called, and her life was like, bah! The man that I have done all these things for, this man has HIV positive. He kept this from me. Stella only found out later that Richard had an operation for vicectomy, and with that operation, he will not be able to have a child again in his life. And the guy keep all this secret from Stella. Stella called me. She said, her life is ruined. The man, this Stella that we're talking about now, is now in her late 40s. The man that she has invested all her resources, all her emotion, he has HIV positive. He didn't tell her. He did vicectomy, not to be able to impregnate a woman. He didn't tell her, and he did all these things, and he kept that. The guy, when he called Rufus' sister, said, my sister, this is the Rufus sister said, his life. The sister knew from the beginning that this is the brother's life, that the brother has HIV positive, and the sister still went ahead and introduced this woman to this guy. That tells you the evil in some people's hearts. I always say on this platform, you only know your heart. This woman called me, and she said she's going to report this man to the police, because if you knowingly infect somebody with HIV, you are committing crime in the United Kingdom. The woman, her life, as I'm talking to you now, is ruined. When she told me the story, I could not believe this story. I could not believe that any human being could be so wicked to do this kind of thing to another human being. But apparently, there are lots of people like Rufus around. What is your view? Do you think that the woman should report Rufus to the police straight away? Let me know what your views are. Do you have any sympathy for Stella? The first man that she was going to marry used her. 2 days to the wedding, 2 weeks to the wedding, they pulled out. The second one that she invested everything in, she spent a lot of money. Now the guy has dumped this woman, giving her HIV positive, and the guy did operation not to be able to have baby. If you're a woman watching me now, you have to be very careful. This is not just a woman problem. There are a lot of men and women. Some women will do the same thing, but we have to be very, very careful. This woman is in pain, and she's going to carry this pain for the rest of her life. These two people, that story that I'm sharing now, before you run and make an assumption, they are not from Nigeria. Both of them are from Southern African, a country in Southern Africa. That is where the man and the woman come from. Because of the sensitivity of HIV, I'm not allowed to disclose the country. That is the agreement that I had with them. But there are valuable lessons that hopefully somebody can learn from this story. Let me know what your views are in the comment section. Don't forget to give this video a like and share. HIV, there are a lot of people that have HIV and they are hiding it from their partner, and they are destroying